Listen, if you think McDonald's is still cheap, wake up. A combo meal now is $14. Fast food was built on being quick, fun, and affordable. That promise is dead. And the reason why this will piss you off more than the prices? Let's unwrap this. You don't get it. Fast food wasn't just food, it was a system. Back in the 1950s, the McDonald's brothers engineered the Speedy Service System. We're talking military-level precision. Burgers, 30 seconds. 15 cents, a family of 4 fed for under $1. That's what made it explode. Speed, efficiency, affordability. That's the trifecta. McDonald's didn't just sell burgers, they sold reliability. Red and yellow buildings, playgrounds, ball pits, Happy Meals. It became culture. When recessions hit, people didn't stop eating out, they traded down. McDonald's was the safety net. Then came the dollar menu in 2002. Wendy's was crushing it with their value menu, so McDonald's fought back. They spent $50 million advertising it during the dot-com crash, and it hit big. Customers flocked in. But here's the catch. A double cheeseburger cost $1.50 to make. McDonald's sold it for $1. Franchisees made 6 cents per burger. 6! That's nothing! And when customers didn't grab fries or drinks, franchise owners got screwed. Corporate didn't care though. They weren't running restaurants, they were pumping stock prices. Value wasn't about helping you, it was about crushing competition and keeping Wall Street happy. Still, the dollar menu wasn't just marketing, it became fast food. You knew what you'd get. Quick, cheap, reliable. It was burned into America's DNA, and that's why when it disappeared, it broke everything. The irony? The dollar menu wasn't even sustainable, but it built an expectation no one could kill. That's the problem. When you train people for a decade that fries are $1, you can't flip the script overnight. Here's the setup. The dollar menu kept McDonald's alive through 2 recessions, built the brand, and built the loyalty. But behind the curtain, franchisees were bleeding. That tension couldn't last. So ask yourself, how long can a business sell you value while quietly bleeding its own partners dry? Let me show you. Let me smack you with this truth. The dollar menu died in 2013, and most of you didn't even notice. Franchisees has been screaming for years. They weren't making money. Inflation crushed costs. And corporate finally said, enough. But they couldn't just let it go. They rebranded it Dollar Menu and More. Added $2, $3, $5 items. Fail. In 2018, they tried it again with the $1, $2, $3 menu. Fail again. Why? Because you can't fake value. The customers still thought McDonald's equals cheap. But corporate didn't want cheap. Cheap kills margins. Cheap pisses off investors. And while they were playing games with menu branding, prices were blasting off. From 2014 to 2024, McDonald's jacked prices nearly 100%. Inflation? Only 35%. Big Mac? Up 50%. Taco Bell? Up 81%. Chipotle? Up 75%. Yes, I know. Your beloved burrito bowl. Now, this wasn't inflation. This was corporate greed. Plain and simple. Fast forward to 2025, McDonald's launches the McValue menu. $5 meal deal. Sounds good, right? Nuggets, McChicken, fries, drink. But let's check the math. Fries are listed at $3.19. A double cheeseburger, $3.99. A drink, $2. So how do you get it all for $5? Easy. They're inflating menu prices so the deal looks like a steal. It's simply menu psychology. And here's the kicker. Franchisees still hated it. They called McDonald's a penny profit business. Margins only 10 to 15%. They warned we can't do this without corporate help. McDonald's didn't care. National promos came from the top and everyone else falls in line. Even worse, the illusion created distrust. Customers noticed the regular menu made no sense. Why would fries cost $3 solo but magically drop to $1 inside a bundle? That's manipulation. So let's call it what it is. The dollar menu didn't just die, it was killed. And what replaced it was nothing but smoke and mirrors. But the real story isn't about one menu. It's about what happens when the illusion of value breaks and the customer stops buying it. Check this out. Here's the stat that should punch you in the gut. 80% of Americans now say fast food's a luxury. And think about that. McDonald's, a luxury. In what world, right? It's not just prices, it's speed. Remember those 30-second burgers? Gone. Today you wait 4 to 5 minutes. That's 10 times slower than your grandparents. And you're paying double for worse quality. Corporate blames wages and inflation. That's the excuse. But the math doesn't add up. Wages rose, I'm sure, but not 100%. Denmark proves it's BS. Over there, Big Macs cost the same as the US, but workers earn $20 an hour. No tips, no side hustles, just living wages. You can pay people fairly without torching customers at the register. So what's the truth? Corporate shifted the game. McDonald's isn't really a burger company anymore. It's a real estate empire. They own 70% of their buildings and 45% of the land. They make more money renting to franchisees than selling food. That's why your McDonald's looks like a gray box now. No more bold colors, no more playlands. Those buildings are designed to flip quick if the franchise fails. It's about property value, no longer customer experience. Talk about greed, right? So here's the paradox. Fast food's slower, more expensive, less fun. Yeah, Wall Street still smiles because the rent checks keep rolling in. But customers, they're done. In Q1 of 2025, McDonald's reported its worst drop since the pandemic. Sales at existing stores down 3.6%. Visits from low and middle income families down 10%. Let me translate that for you. The people McDonald's was built for walked away. When the very foundation of your brand, affordability, becomes a punchline, you're not just in trouble, you're in free fall. So answer me this. When fast food turns into a $14 night out, who's left to buy it? Drop your comment down below. And if you're still with me, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. All right, chapter 4 is about to get juicy. Let's dive in. Fast food built its empire on working families, students, parents, people hustling. The promise was, we've got your back when money's tight. That's now over. When a value menu charges $3 for fries, you're not helping people. You're mocking them. Customers noticed. They started ditching McDonald's for Shake Shack and Sweet Green. Some just said screw it and cooked at home. And here's the dirty secret. McDonald's still makes their money even when you don't show up. Why? Because 93% of stores are franchise-owned. Corporate doesn't deal with staff, costs, or angry customers. They just collect rent, royalties, and their cut of sales. The franchisees? Different story. They call it out. We're a penny profit business. Only 10 to 15% margins. Every national promo, they're forced to honor it, even when it's a money loser. That's the great disconnect. Corporate serves investors. Franchisees serve customers. And both sides are at war. Meanwhile, you, the customer, get hit with slower service, higher prices, and soulless gray boxes instead of the fun, colorful hangouts you grew up with. Here's what nobody wants to say. McDonald's was never about gourmet food. It was about belonging. You knew the clown, the jingles, the playground. That's what glued you to the brand. When they stripped that away and doubled prices, they betrayed more than your wallet. They betrayed your trust. And here's the punchline. The dollar menu was scrapped over a decade ago, but its ghost still haunts McDonald's. It's an expectation. Fast food equals affordable. When McDonald's killed that promise, it killed its own identity. So now we've got a brand trapped in limbo. The logo still screams cheap, the prices scream luxury. That tension is breaking the business. And the question is, can they fix it before it collapses? Or is the future of fast food already leaving McDonald's behind? McDonald's, and every other big chain, has two choices. Choice 1, keep doing the same thing. Hike prices, sell illusions of value, squeeze franchisees, collect rent, hope Wall Street keeps clapping while customers vanish. Choice 2, pivot. Go back to what made fast food legendary. Speed, simplicity, real affordability, community. I'm not saying it's easy. Once you've taught customers that fries cost $3, it's hard to convince them you care about value again. Once you've stripped away the ball pits, the Happy Meal magic, the energy, it's hard to rebuild that trust. But nostalgia is a weapon. People remember what fast food felt like when it worked. Families, fun, cheap comfort food. If McDonald's leaned into that again, there's a shot. Because make no mistake, the empire is cracking. Sales are down, customers are pissed, alternatives are everywhere. But if McDonald's keeps betting on real estate over burgers, they'll eventually lose the very people who built them into a powerhouse. The irony? McDonald's killed the dollar menu to survive, and now the lack of it might be what kills their relevance. If you enjoyed this video, drop your input down below. Hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.